What is up, guys? In today's video we have another inside the mind style video. I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and decisions as I play in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do find this video to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below which section of the map you hope to see change next season. I think the current rumors are that like this region of the map is going to be changing, but as far as leaks and rumors go for next season, I think it's a lot of speculation. Typically when it comes to like getting a new Fortnite season, we have things posted by like leakers and news accounts who, you know, typically have a good track record, but we also have things going on in game that kind of go hand in hand or corroborate some of those leaks or rumors. But with this season, there hasn't really been much buildup or anything going on to really suggest what next season is going to be. Like the current rumors are that it's going to be, you know, some sort of generic superhero themed season, like original Fortnite characters, not necessarily Marvel or DC. But as I said, with nothing really happening on the map to like corroborate that, who knows if it's right or wrong. Coming into the Star Wars season, we had, you know, a lot of leaks and speculation that it was going to be Star Wars themed. And then there was also things happening on the map or like NPCs with text lines that were clearly making references to Star Wars or alluding that that's what was coming next. But next season we got pretty much nothing. So every suggestion we have about it could just be wrong. This is not a human. If there was anybody landing near me, I would not be shooting him. I feel like it's only really worth shooting people out of the sky if you're not immediately going to be pressured. Because imagine somebody landed at this house and had already looted some of it while I was killing that AI. Like we just gave up so much timing to get a kill that ultimately doesn't matter. Like taking care of what's like an immediate threat to you is always going to be more important. Fix him, he's already. A million EMPs already. Fortunately, no shockwaves yet. They did actually increase the spawn rate of shockwaves a few days after the update went live, so hopefully I shouldn't have the hardest time finding them. This week's update added the Star Destroyer bombardment, the grapple glove, the rift to go, and the junk rift, which none of that is like that biggest deal to me, but probably the most impactful change for me is that they removed the sprites for whatever reason, and so you can no longer give them to the shrines to get guaranteed mobility. And so something like the grapple glove, which I don't rate as, you know, the greatest mobility item, I do actually find myself using a bit more than I would like, just because it's like the only thing I have. But an item like that is mainly just a traveling mobility, and with how frequently I use cars and how important I think cars are in Zero Build, just items that are just meant to get from point A to point B faster aren't the most appealing to me. Especially something like that that goes on cooldown the moment you get shot with it, so it's not like the greatest fighting mobility. But sometimes you just gotta take what you can get. How many E11s have I got in this game? Holy. I'm debating on taking that ACP shotgun. Between the ACP and the Jawa, I could kind of go either way, and it's typically just like rarity that kind of makes me decide. Obviously, the green ACP is a higher rarity than this common Jawa, but like effectively, I feel like the common Jawa might just be better. I like the ACP more though. If I had like a purple or gold ACP or blue, I would definitely take that. But if I'm stuck with like a common or green ACP, like I think I'd rather have the Jawa. Nice, there's a lightsaber over here we can get. Even if you don't want to carry this, I would highly recommend getting it, just because then you have the training and you have the ability to use the movement from it, which is nice. Like I've been using the jetpack a good amount since it was added because it's a solid counter to the spaceships. But even if I plan on using the jetpack, I'll often just get the training. A lot of times when you eliminate people later on in the game, or just at any point in the game, they'll have the lightsabers, and if you don't have the training, picking up their lightsaber is pointless. Like, there could definitely come a time where I run out of shockwaves or whatever if I wasn't already carrying a lightsaber. And having that lightsaber would definitely be better than no mobility. Wish I had a jetpack right now. That was almost bad. I swapped back to the Jawa too soon. But it was like somewhat okay just because it was like a sketchy fight. Like the hitbox of the TIE fighters and X-Wings are like so much larger than they should be, and it makes it like so awkward to fight around them. Okay. Portal is open. I think the starship spawns like near where the portal is. If this guy gave me a medkit, I would have bought shields from him. You can trade 30 health for 50 shields. So if he gave me a medkit, I would have done that twice and then used the medkit to heal. But he gave me a big pot, so I can just use the big. Now I'm gonna go to Seaport City and buy heals here. Okay, we're like somewhat, I was like concerned the ship was gonna spawn near here. So mainly what you want to do once it spawns in is just avoid it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I think the shield bubbles like technically stop it. I don't know how true that is though. Oh, there's all the bigs have been taken. I haven't just sat in a shield bubble and tested whether or not it blocks it. I think Fortnite themselves said the shield bubble is supposed to block it, but that doesn't always mean much. But either way, the main way you want to avoid this is just not being in close to it. It travels in a straight path from where it spawns, and I think the guns are on the front. So once you're like kind of in this region behind it, or far out of the way like I am here, you're pretty safe. I'm like scared me saying that. It's just gonna like jinx me and he's gonna shoot me. But I feel like mostly chill right now. Got 40 seconds left. I just don't want to drive to the point where I'm like in front of it. How do I manage to get my car stuck there? And for the most part, when you're piloting that, you're kind of like looking down. I've only used it one time, but it didn't seem like you could look far to the sides. You got 4 seconds left. The person who's piloting it is going to get rifted out, but I've never been able to like see them and shoot them out of the sky. But they do just get rifted and then land back down. Kind of like how Godzilla was. Gross. Why is this here? I also don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like ever since the Star Destroyer update came out, like I've been seeing so many more TIE fighters and X-Wings. Like I don't know if they increased the spawn rate or not, but it definitely feels to me like they did. Be careful this fight because I don't have heals. I'm gonna constantly, okay, nice. I was gonna say I'm trying to constantly peek different sides and then get shots on him when I can, and then break the tree as well. Like that fight was just consistently getting better for me because he hasn't done a single thing to my rock. I hadn't done much damage to him yet, but I was like whittling down the HP of his cover. And then you saw that like eventually I got damage on him and broke his cover, and then it's just game over for him. If at any point he had like over peaked and I was able to fry him, probably would have pushed sooner, but constantly switching like what angle I'm peeking from, it was somewhat predictable, but like if you do it fast enough, he's just like not ready for it. Especially using like, I think he was just trying to use the IQA-11 the whole time, which is a good gun, but if you're too zoomed in a fight like that, it can kind of be rough. And just how quickly he went from being okay to being dead was actually kind of crazy. Like the moment I got damage on him, I just pressured it and he's gone. I probably should have carried these. I'm dumb. At this point, I think I'd rather have the minis. I'm so used to just having a heal that I rate higher than flap. Like the sprint effect of the slap is great, but the amount of heals it gives is just not something I want to carry as my main heal. I think a full stack is like what, 90 health? 15 per. I'd like to go to Brutal and see if that vending machine is still alive. I can buy big pots from it, but I think it's possible that this area just got completely destroyed by the bombardment. Seems okay, but it could still be bought out. I got shot at. I don't know where they are though. Like somewhere in that direction. I buy big pots here and then get on the roof and see what I can see. Oh, they're out of stock. That's crazy. Seaport vending machine and this one just completely out of stock. This tower didn't spawn. If that tower spawned, I would go check it, the radio tower over there. Because those guards drop so much heals, and in solos, the likelihood of one person carrying all the heals away from there is kind of low. Unless they just like got chain third-partied or something. Now I guess I can go to Leia. If she's here, and see if she has big pods. More shocks. That's a W. She gave me a big pot. Perfect. There's another one over here, so we're gonna have two. I don't know what's going on with this portal. Okay, I was like, the fact that the portal spawned made me think someone had gone in there to get the lightsaber, but like it was not, nothing was going on there, so I wasn't sure if it was a bug or not. It's taking him longer than I expect to get out of there. That guy's just gone. I think there was another car over here, was there not? Maybe I'm faded. I was like down to let that guy go so I could fight this other person that didn't exist. Because it was just like the train coming in at the corner of my eye. I saw the movement and thought it was a car. Something purple there. Rift. Wish I could find that truck. You can actually hit them through the back seat with the lightsaber if you're out on the outside. I think it was one of those trucks. Oof. Been down over here. Nothing I really need though. This area got like destroyed by the Star Destroyer. Mythic AR just chilling. I wonder if they died to the bombardment. At this point, I have excellent loot, I think. I could probably use a better rarity shotgun, but that's about it. And luckily for me, the rarity is not the biggest deal in the Jawa. Like, it hits incredibly hard regardless. And I guess one more big pot. I have no idea where anybody is, though. This is such a bizarre match. People fighting over there. But the moment I go over there, though, they just completely stop fighting and disperse. Someone's car exploded. Only 50 damage, really not that much. It's all overshield. Overshield won't be back by the time I get here, but now we can start doing real damage, and he's weak. We just hit him white there. He should get in. That's why I do not like the Grapple glove is your only mobility. He had a lightsaber as well, but without sprint, it kind of does nothing there. Like, he's not going to get away from me with it. And I shoot him, and he's gone. Or his mobility is gone. It kind of sucked for him that he was like stuck on the ground, but even if he did get like a flip out of the glove, I just gotta hit him one time and his game is over. And I had him so weak that like there's just nothing he can do. If he has shockwaves there, he can maybe just like full shock away or a rift to go. But if you're weak and getting pressured by somebody who has okay aim, you are not getting away with the grapple glove. Like, the enemy having a say in whether or not you use your mobility is not something I enjoy. Could be somebody on the train here that just captured this, but they might have just dipped earlier. The loot is still there, so that I think they did just like start capturing it and then get off for whatever reason. Somebody ripped it over here. Definitely a chance this person is weak too. A lot of times people like panic rift to go when they're like in a bad situation. And you could definitely get away that way, but it's also one of those things where like if your opponent's decent aim, you are somewhat vulnerable in this guy. I don't think that guy was incredibly weak, but still able to just kill him out of this guy easily. The A280 is just so accurate. Like such a good gun for shooting people out of this guy. GG's. Oh, this is a guy who ran from me earlier, I think. Oh, this isn't one that I can chop. It doesn't have an outside. He's gonna die. He messed up. He should have got out there. Staying in a weak car like that, you're so exposed. Only hit him 60 there with the Jawa, but I took nothing in return. Again, only 20. Get out and shoot him. He's able to shoot his Jawa though, and I'm not. Now I am. He rifted, but I have him somewhat weak. Not the weakest, but GG's. God, my Jawa shots were terrible there. But playing around a car with it, like, I'm able to just reset the fight completely. The time that was most scary to me was when he was on the front with his Jawa out and mine wasn't loaded. I guess we had a windshield, but I wasn't sure if this car had the windshield, so. But either way, the fact that I'm able to shoot and then just immediately get in the car means that, like, I'm not just fully losing the fight because my Jawa shot was terrible. And even the start of that fight, I like shot him and then immediately lightsaber jumped to the car. If I was like committing to that fight, I think it very easily could have gone poorly for me. Because I shot my Jawa, got mid, not even mid damage, I got terrible damage. And then he hadn't shot his yet. So if he hits me hard there, he just probably wins that fight. I'm grappling. And now his item is on cooldown. And he's stuck in no man's land. That is what I was talking about. A fun item, I like it, but like, you live or die by it in those situations. And that's why I feel like it's okay for traveling the map, but it isn't even really that great for traveling the map because if anybody gets timing on you like that, you're just dead. Like, it's not like he was trying to push at me or run away from me with it initially. He was just using his item, but because of that, he makes himself an easy target. We have 2 opponents remaining that may or may not be real. Oh. One is he's shooting at me with the IQA 11. 70 damage, not the greatest, not the worst. Zone here, but I'm still gonna like push up to this this little rock right here, and maybe get shots on him. He really wants to fight this though, by the way, because if he's like playing the marksman rifle like that, best case scenario for him is I kind of over peek and then he can hit like a shot or maybe a headshot and just like get all this pressure off him. But if I just kind of chill here and don't give him shots, then his life is going to get very hard. He may have already left though. Okay, no. Hit him, so his item is on cooldown. And now he's dead. But yeah, if I had like came here and then like full forcing this fight, that's like the only avenue he has to get back in the game. Like all I gotta do is push up and deny him like any chance to do anything, and his game will eventually be over. Biggest problem for me would just be like getting third partied, but as I said earlier, I don't know if this person is real or not. So that's just back-to-back players that had their game ruined because they grapple gloved while an enemy was nearby. And like people in my comments always roast me for, you know, loving shockwaves, but that is why. If he's trying to shock out of that situation, he can play the game maybe. I don't know if it's a human or an AI. I'm like actually confused because I think it was a very scared human. Like they were sitting in the bush. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.